There at the end we got a couple rebounds and had some separation. Then they hit 2 big threes there to finish it up in regulation, and maybe we could have played that last possession of defense differently at the end of regulation, but credit to Joe for hitting a tough shot. But really proud of our guys. We stayed the course, especially in the overtimes. We were behind several times in both of those periods, or maybe just in the first period. And our huddles were really positive. I thought our body language was really positive, and so hats off to our guys for really grinding one out today.
Coach, obviously not the first overtime game you played this year, but how does the strategy change with 2 of your bigs fouling out when they did?
Ooh, I don't think about that because that's not good. Those aren't happy thoughts. And so we're so different when Noah's not out there. It was kind of ad lib there. The last 10 or 12 minutes, there's both overtimes in the last part of the game. They went small with Henderson at the 5, especially when Buckingham fouled out, and so you got a bunch of munchkins out there on both teams, and it's hard to run your stuff, and so it come down to just guys making plays, and this guy over here made a bunch of them, and ultimately that was the difference.
Yeah, Jonathan, how did it feel a career high, which surpassed your career high, which you set against Southeastern in December? So how did it feel to do what you did today?
It feels good. Like, I couldn't have done it without just my coach and my teammates. I believe every shot that I take is what I think try to be a good S&U shot, and I just did what I needed to do to help the team out, and they trusted me, and I'm glad that they did.
Were there a couple of possessions there at the end where the ball wasn't going to leave your hands?
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right.
Like again, saying like again, I said they trust me, so I'm saying if they tell me, hey Jonathan, go, or I can go, I feel like I can take it, I'll take it, and again, that's trust from Coach Bosch. I appreciate all the trust in them.
Yeah, Noah, what about the battle between you and Buckingham throughout the entire game? I mean, we billed it as a big matchup, and it was while y'all were on the floor.
Yeah, it's not often I get to play against like somebody as good as him in the post, and so he played tough, he played hard, he was crashing, and I mean there was a little bit of fouls both ways, but I thought it was good. It was a lot of fun.
Coach, you talked about not getting much separation, and it really was the case, especially in the second half. You just couldn't get that separation. How do you make an adjustment then without just throwing everything out? What do you tweak in a situation like that to see what can we do to step up?
Yeah, we've for whatever, we've had some games where we've been able to separate, and so these games are good for us. Where I mean, a 5-point lead's a great lead, and sometimes a 5-point lead in our huddle feels like the sky's falling a little bit, or I thought we fouled them just enough where maybe there was a chance to get a stop and make them make a tough basket, and we'd foul them and they'd walk to the line and make 2 free throws, and then we couldn't quite get our separation that way. They were much better than us today at driving it to score the ball, not driving it to get fouled. I thought we drove it a couple times and with a funny look on our face and just one bailed out a little bit, and they drove it, and Dorsky especially and Henderson just right to the front of the rim and to get fouled. And so that probably led to us not being able to separate, but again, really proud of the guys for hanging in there and finishing it off at the end.
I don't think there's any question you guys will be playing next week and playing later on, but for the 2 players, what does it feel like knowing you're going to play tomorrow, especially as you had a little bit of early exit to this one, to be able to be back on the court here at Ballsville tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It would have been bad if we were done today, so I'm glad that the rest of the guys carried it over once I was out, and it sucks watching the game on the bench. That's no fun, so I'm glad that they pulled it out so I get to play again.
Jonathan, you said you weren't letting go of the ball. Did that carry through tomorrow too? You can keep it the whole time tomorrow?
Absolutely. I'm not going to do that tomorrow. I find what's in the offense, and if somebody else is open, they have a better shot. Gladly pass it up to them because everybody on our team can score through the bench, through the starting five, through the bench. Everybody's willing to score.
All right, with that, we'll let you guys go. Congratulations. And